Good morning. If you need a promotional film, look no further. My film style is very. Trying to think of the best words to fit it. It's very docu. It's very run and gun. It's very, very fast paced. So if you're looking for something that matches that build, go over to heywillmosley.com. Okay, I'm talking about something that we have to deal with every single day. It seems like every single day of our life. And I've found a very simple, easy system to overcome email. Essentially getting the inbox zero, but not in the crazy clean way that inbox zero is talked about. Something for the rest of us. So every morning, I wake up, I get into work, and I have anywhere from 10 to 100 emails crowding my inbox, and of what most aren't actually important. So how do we get through all that mess quickly, like very quickly? I mean, like, get to inbox zero in like 5 minutes without, spending an hour or 30 minutes or something along those lines. Sometimes it may take you some time, but I think for the majority of us, I think we can make this happen fairly quickly as we get better and better at it. So the first thing that you want to do, and this is kind of like the initial kind of setup part of it, is one, you should be using Gmail. You can do this with other email clients, but it's going to be easier if you're using Gmail. The thing you're going to do is you're going to go through your current emails, like say you have like 200, 1,000, I don't know how many emails. Say you have a lot of emails, and you can do this either one or two ways. I'm going to kind of give you the first way if you actually have a little bit of time for setup, and the second way if you have no time for setup and you want to get this done right now, and then as it continues on, you can continue to make it better. So if you do have a little bit of time, I recommend going through your inbox like for the first like 100 emails and looking for patterns, looking for this email came up from this said person or this said company. I can care less. You're going to click unsubscribe. You're going through all of them and pretty much unsubscribing to the vast majority of them. Now, once you do that, and this does take about 30 minutes to kind of get through a lot of them that you just don't care. 'Cause sometimes the unsubscribe button's in just a weird place. Sometimes Gmail has it at the very top where you can just see it. But that is one of the most important parts. Stop people from spamming and getting into your inbox. This isn't anything you haven't heard before, but it is something that you should do. Now, let's say we still have 500 emails or 100 emails or however many emails after we've kind of clicked unsubscribe. What we're going to do is we're going to change how many emails that Gmail shows us at a time. I think a lot of times it shows us 20 or maybe 50 at a time. We're going to change that to something like 100. Okay, so once you change that setting, you're going to select all of them. You're not going to go one by one and select each one. You're going to select all of them. And instead of looking for the ones you don't like or that aren't important, you're looking only for the ones that are important. So you're going down this list, you've highlighted all 100, and you're going down it and you're unchecking the ones that are actually important. And typically I find like 1 to 2 out of these 100 are actually important to whatever the day is. Like a lot of it is just like junk or spam or auto emails that kind of like you see but you don't need to actually click into. Once you've kind of gone down that list, at the very bottom, the bulk action, you click archive. That makes them go away. What's going to happen is the next 100, or really the next 98, are going to pop up on your screen. You're going to deselect everything that you did select if there is anything more selected. There shouldn't be. And then you're going to select everything again, the bulk select all button. And you're going to uncheck the two at the top because you obviously those are the two that you had deselected before. And then you're going to go through this full list and look and see if there's anything that's actually important for you to look at. And you may find a couple more, maybe 4, or maybe 2. Who knows? Let's just say another 2 that you find. And then you press archive, and that archives all of those 96 emails. You may have to do this 2 or 3 or even 4 times if you have 400 emails. But the great part about this is you literally can do this in a couple minutes. So instead of going through each email, every email out of a 400, like it's boom, 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 boom. You're pretty much saying, I don't care about half of any of this. I'm only going to cherry pick out what's important. You can do that scan very quickly from the top level. From there, you action those 4 emails or 6 emails or 10, whatever many emails that were left over. You look at it, what needs to happen with this, you respond to it, you get on with it, just like you do any email. That is essentially it, but I'm going to give you another critical tip you can put in place for your email that will help you deal with emails that are important but you don't know what to do with them right this second. So I did mention that I was going to tell you a second way to go about this if you do not have the time to go through the whole unsubscribe process. What you're going to do is each day you take a couple minutes to see repeat emails that are just popping up in your thing. Click into a couple of them, click the unsubscribe button, and if for some reason that doesn't work, you can create a filter to block certain words or certain headings or certain company names from even popping up in your email. And what I mean by that is sometimes companies send from different email accounts or to kind of get around that. So yeah, just daily pick a couple to unsubscribe from and continue with what we just mentioned about the kind of the bulk select and then unselecting the importance. The very last thing is what happens when I get an email in my inbox and it's like, this is important, I don't want to lose it, but it doesn't need to be done today, there's something that needs to happen, or maybe I just want to come back to this later, but I do want to make sure it still comes up in my email. Well, I do 2 things. If it's really, really important, just so it doesn't get lost in no man's land, I do click the star button, but the star button's not going to be your crazy helpful savior. It just means that you can kind of find it if you really have to find it, because you can click on your stars. What I do, and this is why I suggest Gmail, is Gmail has a very, very cool feature that they put in place, I think maybe a year or 2 ago. It's called the snooze button. It works beautifully. So what happens is an email pops up, let's say from my boss or something. Hey, Will, thinking about this event, da-da-da-da. Well, this event's not till next month or 2 months from now. But I do want to come back to this, and I do have other things that have to happen today. How can I make sure that this makes it back to the top of my funnel? Well, if you click the snooze button, it gives you several intuitive options. One is snooze till later today, which is 4 p.m. I don't typically find that one specifically helpful. The other is snooze till tomorrow, which pops up at 8 a.m. in your inbox tomorrow, which is perfect. Sometimes you just need that extra day to kind of I'll deal with that in tomorrow. Another one is snooze till something later this week. And if it's later this week, it typically is Wednesday if it's Monday. And if it's Wednesday, it's Friday or Saturday or something like that. They're very consistent with what they are. They aren't randoms. And And then there's snooze till next week, I believe, which pops up Monday morning, 8 a.m., which is great. They're all really great times. The main one that I typically use is actually snooze till later today, but because the 4 p.m. isn't real, like that's the close of my day, I really want it to pop up right after lunch. I really want to see it like at like 1 or 1:30 or something. Like that's when I want to kind of see it again. I want to get it done today, but I can't get it done right this second. So there is a custom time that you can add or change or put in for the option. I typically put in like 1 p.m. or 1:30 p.m. or something like that, and that helps it come back to the top of the funnel today, but just not right now. So I make sure to do it, or tomorrow, or later this week, etc., etc., etc. And that is how you knock out email in 5 minutes. Like, sometimes it takes a little bit longer, but a lot of times, a lot of the stuff that's in your inbox is just junk, and you can filter through and get through it very fast, so that you can get on with what's truly important. I hope you enjoyed this one. Remember, if you need a promotional film to set your business apart and you are in the Asheville area, I'd love to work with you. We can get together on Saturday. Catch you guys on the next one. Bye.